Okay, so you're gonna work really hard all month, and congratulations, you can afford to pay your bills, food, nourishment for your family, but now a new month starts, and you have to do that whole thing all over again, working hard, slaving away, otherwise you can't pay your bills this month, and it never ends. That's the perpetual hamster wheel. It's a big problem, a big common problem, and I was just asked about this, and I've been asked about it many times. And I have a solution. But of course I do. What would a Tom Birkenmeier video be about a problem if I didn't couple it with a solution? It would just be like cruel and unusual for me to do that. So here's the deal. You have great work ethics. You're going to work hard. You're going to do what it takes. You're not going to cheat or steal or any of those things. But in reality, working on that hamster wheel, it's like stealing wealth and time, because real rich people measure their freedom by, or their wealth by their time, not their money, but you don't have any of that because you constantly have to keep working hard every month, and you start all over every month, or you can't continue to pay the bills, and it just goes and goes. Because here's where I go into the solution. It's not residual. Job money, whether you're a salary or a wage earner, job money is non-residual, it's non-passive. That means it's hamster wheel money. It's hamster wheel money. You have to continuously and perpetually keep stealing time from yourself, from your family, from your life, from your day, or you stop getting paid. So you are attached, chained, and binded to the dollar. It's the new form of slavery. Congratulations. However, there's a way out of it. It has to be through leverage. Residual money, passive money, is leveraged money. It's the only income type that sets a person free. Typically, it starts small, but because it builds residually, you're no longer trading your time for money, you're investing your time for money. And if you don't start investing, even if it's just a few minutes a day, if you don't start making those little time investments to create a leveraged form of income, then you will live and die by the dollar, period. And that's how most people spend their lives. And the reason most people spend their lives that way, I mean, who knows what the reason is, but the thing behind the reason is because most people have zero openness. They've been programmed since birth to believe that the smart, intelligent, legitimate way to live your life is to go to school so that you can get a nice job and earn a paycheck every week. And the problem with that is what I opened up with this video with. It never ends. You are directly chained and binded to the dollar as a form of modern day slavery. You work for money. When you sell your time for money, this isn't to put anybody down, by the way. When you sell your time for money, by default, with your time goes your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul, all for a paycheck. It's crazy. So when you start to build residual money and passive money, what you're actually doing is you're starting to free yourself, detaching yourself from money so that you can be covered, your bills, your expenses, food, nourishment, security, stability for yourself and for your family. That starts to become covered regardless of how you spend your time. Therefore, you have your freedom of time, and you begin getting off of that stupid hamster wheel and off of that hamster wheel paycheck, regardless if it's salary or wages. And people that have a high salary or a high paying job, they're just bigger slaves to the dollar. That's all that means. They're not any richer. They still have to keep selling their time. It's still hamster wheel money. There's no freedom in that. Some people are so rich, all they have is money. But the true rich, they got their time. And that's what residual and passive money is all about. It's all about having your time freedom, because that's real wealth, baby. Having your time, that's wealth. Being able to get off that hamster wheel. That's where the riches are, the best of the best. That's where it's at. To be able to put your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions in the moment when you need to. You get a tough phone call, you can drop everything. You don't need to check in with a boss or a gatekeeper or live underneath the thumb of anybody that can tell you what to do. Don't have to check your bank account. But you have to get started. And if you don't get started, you will never have it. I started with just 20 minutes a day. Some days that meant I had to get up early, 10 minutes, go to bed 10 minutes late. Big deal. I did what I had to do. And over time, because it was residual, that 20 minutes, half hour a day or whatever, it added up. I wasn't starting over at the beginning of every month or the beginning of every year. I built on top of itself, the complete opposite of hamster wheel money, which is job money. And you do that long enough period of time, you stack it high enough to where I'm covered. I have the option now of walking away from my job. If I love my job, I can keep it, but it's no longer out of a codependency for money. And one of the big unforgivable, unredeemable lies that we've been sold to and programmed since birth is that having a job is a form of self-reliance. That is the unforgivable lie, one of the biggest ones we're told. There's no self-reliance in relying on somebody else, relying 100% on another company, an asset, relying 100% on an asset that we do not own, we have no control over. Zero control means highest risk possible, and that we could lose any time because it's not up to us. That is a sick, unhealthy codependence, not self-reliance. To build a residual passive income from an asset that you own, that's self-reliance. Very few people have it. So, be a contrarian thinker to those mainstream garbage ideas that really destroy people and perpetuate poverty in mass numbers. There's so many people that can't even get food because of lies like that are being told. It's a great for spreading poverty, and it's great for the richest of the rich who are actually corrupted, some of them, to have more at the expense of everybody else having less. And it's complete nonsense, and it doesn't need to be that way. It really doesn't. So, if you're asking the question, well, what do I do to build this residual and passive money? Well, that's where this video is going, right to the end. If you would like to explore working with me and my team to build an asset, I figured it out, and I reverse engineered what I did. I made my first 6 figures, actually, if you can believe it, on Facebook online, and I paid $0 for advertising. But I did it all online in my spare time, building it residually, and it seemed to work pretty well. And so my job description now that I've given myself, and job I use loosely because it's not a job. I'm not employed by anybody. I don't have a job. I love that. But my job description is I grow healthy rich people. I gave that description to myself. I love it. And I love that title because the type of person that would be attracted to something like that is the kind of person that I'm probably going to get along really well with. And people that think it sounds too good to be true and whatever else, that's good, because then I don't have to worry about spending my time with them because they're not going to be interested in this anyway, which is totally cool. So if that turns you on, the description of growing healthy, rich people defined by their time, not their money, but enlightened enough to make that connection between being financially free and time freedom, if that turns you on, then I invite you to fill out a little questionnaire that I have. That'll give you a really good idea if you think we would vibe together, and likewise, if I see your answers, which I will if you fill out the form, I'll get a good idea if you're somebody that I think I would vibe with to include on my team. So if you'd like to look at being included on my team, go to this form, fill it out. It is located at open, O-P-E-N, .fireyourboss.xyz, not .com. Do not go to .com. You'll screw everything up. It's .xyz. Again, that's open.fireyourboss.xyz. And then also private message me on Facebook too and say you filled it out and you can't wait to hear from me or something like that. And I'll probably see it more quickly. And also just for the fact that if you really do dig this message enough to actually fill out that form, I'd be anxious to hear from you anyway, because there's obviously some kind of vibrational match that we have that would be really cool. So I'll hear from you soon. I hope this video was enlightening in some way and got you to think bigger and helps you solve some problems of getting out of that hamster wheel paycheck for that hamster wheel lifestyle of I worked hard this month, paid the bills, but another month is starting and it just never ends. I just want a break. You know what I'm saying? This is the exit out of that needless lifestyle, in my personal opinion. All right, I'll hear from some of you real soon, and I look forward to it. Bye for now.